I'm still in my pajamas. Welcome back to another behind the scenes cake life vlog. I am running a little bit late this morning because I am at the hairdresser's. So I wanted to pop on with my old hair just so you can see the transformation to the new hair, and I just don't pop on with brand new hair. I'm going in to get rid of these little greys at the top, having my orange ginger redone, but I'm also there because I need to take her cake order. So my hairdresser has ordered a cake for her mum this week and I have zero clue about the design, the flavours or nothing. So I'm getting all that information today whilst I'm having my hair done, and then I'm coming home to start work on it.
Hello, I am back. I did get caught in the rain on the way home, so it doesn't look how it did when I left the hairdressers, but as you can see, I have a fringe. I haven't had one of these since high school. I just figured if I absolutely hated it, I could just grow it back out. It's not a major problem because it won't take long to grow at all. But I put a fringe in and I have had my ginger hair all refreshed. We also sorted out what type of cake she wanted whilst we were there. So she had a huge amount of pictures and there was nothing similar about any of the pictures. Usually you can kind of see a theme forming, but every single cake was a completely different design, a different colour. The only thing I did capture from the images is that she wanted colourful, but none of the colours were kind of similar. We narrowed it down. We figured that she liked the dual tones, so those are like the peacock colours, the turquoise, the purples. So then I pulled up a few dual toned cakes on the internet to see if that was kind of the vibe she was going for, with lots of pops of like hot pink flowers and things like that. So now I know what I'm making. Picked up some ingredients and I'm going to bake that today. However, I have two cakes this week. This is unheard of because both of these cakes are for locals. They live in my town. One is my hairdresser and one is Abby's dance teacher. And this never ever happens. As you know, you will see me deliver cakes up and down the country. So it's very weird to just be delivering down the road. So I'm delivering one on Friday, which is a 2-tier wedding cake, and then the 2-tier birthday cake on Saturday. So I baked the wedding cake yesterday because that's leaving on Friday. So yesterday was Monday, today is Tuesday, and I'm going to start baking the birthday cake. So I will probably catch you tomorrow when I'm at the studio, when I'm starting to get to the ganache stage. Happy Wednesday. I have my two cakes rough ganached, and it's always a good idea to pop some post-it notes on, especially when your cakes are the same size. So I have two 7 inches and two 5 inches. However, one is chocolate and one is jam, and you do not want to get them mixed up because quite a few years ago that's exactly what happened. I put the wrong top tier on the wrong bottom tier when I had two of the cakes the same size that week, and the recipients obviously got the wrong flavours on the wrong cakes. So it's always a good idea to pop little notes on, so I know that one down there is the chocolate one and this one in front here is the jam. It's almost dinner time, so I'm going to go for my dinner and then finish ganaching these when I get back. So the cake leaving first, the wedding cake for Friday, is actually pirate themed. So I don't know if I've already mentioned this yet, but it is a 2-tier pirate cake. They are already married. I think they got married at Gretna Green and then they're having like a little party here in their hometown. Mum of the groom is surprising them with a pirate cake. So I have 2 white chocolate skulls ready to go. This is what they look like. I have yet to dust them up, grunge them up, make them look very piratey. But they are made in a mould that I made myself. So I actually made the actual mould for the skulls. So only this one exists. And they are incredibly hard to remove from the moulds. But I did one on Monday and I did one last night. So they're ready to go on top. And then I need to go out tonight to look for some flowers for Saturday's cake. I had a little rummage in my flower basket and I don't have the colours that I need. So they're like hot flashes of hot pink and things like that. So I'm going to go out tonight, maybe have a look at the Range and Dunelm because I know both of those carry artificial flowers. I'm not sure if they're going to have hot pink with a lot of it being like the autumns, orange and browns, but I can have a look. And if I don't find any, I'm not going to panic yet because tomorrow night Country Baskets, which is a huge artificial flower shop, is open till 8 p.m. So I can't go there tonight because they shut when we finish, but they do have a late opening tomorrow, which is Thursday. So if I can't find any tonight, I will go to Country Baskets on Thursday tomorrow, and I'm sure I will find some. So that is the plan for today. I've just come back from dinner and I found this outside my front door, and it will confuse me because it's come from the Disney store. And I have recently just bought something from the Disney store, but in America. So one of my brigadiers who won the challenge, I'll pop the cake on because it was an amazing cake. Denise actually lives in America and she won the challenge. So I sent her something from the US Disney store so that it would just go straight to her house, and I don't have to like send anything from the UK because it costs a fortune. I saw it and I thought, how on earth has this arrived at my address? Because I put my address in obviously as the billing address, but I don't think it's the same like shape as the item that I have bought her. So this has come from somebody else. So let's open it and see what it is. I'll be able to just hear my little heater in the background because it's got quite cold, so I popped the heater on. So we have a nice little money off voucher code. We have what looks to be the invoice. Oh my gosh, I can see in the bag and I know what this is. No way. That was so hard to get out of the bag. How cute is this? Let me just put them in their little boat. Oh my gosh. So we have little Bernard here in his little jumper. We have Bianca in a little fluffy hat and Evan Rude. Oh my god, look at Evan Rude. Look at his little face. And his little sideburn pieces. Oh my god, he is amazing. Evan Rude is definitely my favourite. And his little legs. I love that. I didn't know, I thought it was just like an all-in-one thing, but I love that you can take them out. They're just tied in with these little plastic ties, but I love that you can actually take them out. Absolutely adore the Rescuers. It's definitely one of my favourite Disneys. I made this on a cake recently that led me to then watch it again because it's been years since I'd seen it, so we watched it the other day. Look at their little teeth. This is so cute. Now Corinne from the Brigade did say she was sending me a parcel, so let me just check if it was her. Yeah, it's Corinne. I've just opened a message from her. She says my parcel will be delivered today between 10 and 12, and then she showed me a picture of where they've left it. This was left here at my front door. She said they've left it in such a safe place. Well, luckily I went home at dinner time and it was there waiting for me. Thank you so much, Corinne. It is absolutely adorable, and this is of course going up with my other little plushies on my shelf. This little collection in my corner is now growing, and a lot of this stuff was sent by brigadiers or YouTube subscribers. I bought the big huge skull because Abby told me to buy it. So I couldn't resist it, from Wilkinson's, and he is absolutely huge. This is another one from Corinne. She is known as the fairy godmother in the Cherry Brigade because she is just 100% the biggest support of everybody. She is always there to leave you a comment, leave you a message. So she's our little fairy godmother. So she sent this one through that came with a matching cup. This was also sent through from a brigadier. I bought the troll on eBay. I got this from, I want to say Matalan. These are my little light up neons, and then this is the new edition from Corinne as well. The gorgeous little Rescuers one. And then I've just got some random little sugar figures. And my fabulous little, well, I say little cookie jar, my fabulous huge cookie jar of Jack Skellington was sent through by my friend Emma when she came to visit the studio when I kind of set it up. And she bought me the biggest box of biscuits you have ever seen, and I still have some left. I've been making my way through them and I still have some left. I thought I would document this because it is a long time since this has happened. But this is my rough ganached cake, and you can see there is a crack. A very large one starting from about here, running all the way down, and it actually runs across as well. So the reason for this is why I rough coat and then I leave it, just in case things like this happen, and it gives you a chance to fix it rather than it happening on your finished tier. So obviously the cake and the filling has been settling, and as gravity takes hold, the sponge is going to start pushing the filling and so on all the way down the cake. So the one that's going across here is a jam explosion. So the filling has started to come out across ways, and then this one running down here is the sponge pushing it out as well. So what we're going to do not try to just ganache over this and think it will fix, because there's a good chance it will happen again on your final layer. So what you want to do is take a nice sharp knife and actually cut like a V where that crack is. I'm going to cut down that side. I'm going to cut down this side. Cutting like, do you know when you're doing those geode cakes and you kind of like cutting a big crack and crevice? I'm trying to cut and film at the same time, it's not happening. But basically you want to take some of this filling out like this, and then we're going to fill this then with ganache, which will hold everything in. Similar for the one running across, don't leave that one either, because that's the worst one where the filling is popping out. Kind of what you can see as I push there, the jam sneaking out the bottom. So I'm just going to cut the little V upwards and downwards from that jam spill. I know it looks incredibly messy, but it will look perfect again when we pop an extra layer of ganache on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm poking through the ganache, pulling out some of the jam, and then filling this and this with ganache to seal it back in, and it will be as good as new. It's just where it's settled, that's all. It doesn't mean that you need a dam or you need to put less filling in or anything. It's just that on this particular cake it is squashed down a little bit more, and it's just, gravity has just been a little bit too much and it has pushed a bit of jam out the bottom. I know people do like to use dams, and it's not something I've ever needed to use because the ganache usually holds it all in. I like that when people have a slice of cake, the people who are getting the outer ones are still getting some filling, because usually if people use dams, all the people who are eating the outside pieces are only getting kind of like dam as their filling rather than like the jam. That's the only reason why I do it anyway. I have to make it very awkward for myself, but I just want everybody's piece to taste good. So what I'm going to do now is fill this with ganache, and you'll see it fills it. You just want to make sure you push it in there to make sure it's actually going right into that gap and into the sponge. This shouldn't crack again now once we've filled this. Happy Thursday. I have literally just got to the studio this morning. I can tell dry shampoo is going to be my best friend. We're only on like day 2 here, and the fringe is already getting a little bit greasy, like having to keep touching it to move the fringe around. So dry shampoo has already gone on this morning, and it's going to be a much needed item for this new fringe. But they cannot get used to it at home. They think it looks like a wig. They're not used to a fringe at all. They said it literally looks like you're just wearing a wig, because we are not used to seeing you with a fringe at all. But I wanted to let you know how I got on at Dunelm last night. So I went to the range first and they didn't have anything. However, Dunelm came through again. And I picked up 3 bunches. So these were £2.50 a spray, and you just get 3 like little pink roses on it, and I picked 3 of these up. However, I do still need lots of different colours. These are the only ones they had that I needed. So it's still a trip to Country Baskets tonight. But for now, I'm going to get on with finishing, well, I'm not going to finish them, but I'm going to get as much done on these cakes as I can.
as you will have just seen, I got my pirate cake completely finished yesterday. It was 1 minute to 5 when I put the ribbon on. So I will show you the completed thing. We have our bride and groom pirate toppers. Little pearl there in the flower, because we have pearls hidden in the sand down here with some doubloons. You'll have to excuse the hands again because they are fully dyed. And we have the rope detail as well. Hanging down into the rough sea tier, we've got some little tentacles sticking out of the sea. Got like a pirate type scroll. So yeah, chuffed to have this one done because we are delivering this one tonight at 5 PM locally, so it'll take me 2 minutes to deliver this one. So I went to Country Baskets last night and picked up lots of different flowers. So I was going with hot pinks. So you seen me buy those little hot pink roses the other day from Dunelm. So these are from Country Baskets, which they have lots and lots of artificial flowers, foliage, trees, home decor, stuff like that. Then I have these purpley pink ones. I'm going for like purples, pinks, and then a little pop of orange. So I got very small ones to just pop in and out to brighten it up. We have these dark purple ones as well. These are clematis. Now the bad thing is this cake is going to a very, very keen gardener. She is part of a team here in my local town that goes round and plants loads of plants, tidies up the area. She's been labelled by her daughter as eccentric. I didn't want to say that. She said she's very eccentric, loves colours, loves mix matching her clothes, you know, nice dopamine dressing. I call it dopamine dressing, where you just wear clothes that make you happy, whether they match or not. So she's very much like into her bright colours. So we've narrowed it down for like a turquoise. I think I'm going to do turquoise and purple. And then this is like statement foliage all over it. However, because she's into her gardening, these flowers are going to make no sense to her. She's going to be like, why have we got like clematis with peonies and raspberries and roses? You know, to me, I buy colour schemes of what I think is going to look nice together, not what is like botanically correct and what is going to grow next to each other or at the same times of year or anything like that. So I am a little bit worried because I have just chosen flowers I think will look nice together. So we've got the hot pinks, we've got the purples, we've got a little flash of orange, and then I've gone for some darker, deeper red. So I've got a packet of roses there just in case I want to use those. These are amazing, these long trailing little, I don't know what you call these, they do have a name, but they're like a deep burgundy as well. And I also picked up some raspberries, because I thought they would make a nice little change, popping in and out of the rest of the colours. So this is what I'm working with. I think you're looking here, I think this were about £36. I've left my receipt in the car, but this was £36, and then my roses the other night were £2.50 a stem, and I bought 3 of those. So we're looking already way above £40 just in flowers. If that gives you some sort of idea of how much these sort of things can cost to decorate cakes with. But I am going for statement. So we're not just using 1 or 2, we're using lots and lots of flowers. So this is where I'm up to so far with the bottom tier. I will just explain my thoughts. So I know I wanted like a purple and a turquoise, very bright, so that the pink flowers pop on it. But with her liking her different mismatch of colours and textures and things, and with her doing lots of projects and things, I just have a vision of her being very arty. And I hope that's the case, because I decided to go a little bit abstract and a little bit arty and sponge on some pink in the background. It does have a slight marble as well through the purple, and then some gold splats. I just wanted it to look quite arty on the bottom. And then here is my top tier, which is turquoise, and I have basically textured it and then overloaded it with paint to create these drips. I'm hoping these dry in this like exact position because the drips are quite evenly spaced. I painted it with turquoise airbrush colour, and I also made a slightly lighter version, which you can just see kind of blobbed around there. I want lots of texture. I didn't want anything too plain, but I just really hope that she is arty now that I've done this. I hope she understands like where I was going with it.
But I've got to wait for this to dry now because I can't lift this tier to put it on the next tier because it is so wet, and I will leave like fingerprints in it. So I've just got to play the waiting game now and hope this dries in time. We delivered the pirate cake to the venue, which is literally 2 minutes away, not far at all. It is a converted church, which essentially is a huge event space, so you can hire it out for weddings, events. They often hold artisan markets and food stalls. And when it's not doing any of those things, it is a cafe during the day where you can buy pizzas, get yourself a coffee. It's like a little kids cinema and play area. And then in the evening, it turns into a Lebanese restaurant. Lots of tapas sort of food. I've only been in here to eat once, but I do want to go back. But the backdrop just lent itself so well to the pirate theme, just with all the wood everywhere and the natural stone. The wooden tables, the chairs they had and everything. So they were setting up with little pirate coins on the tables. It was looking super cute and I was so happy with the cake. And I wasn't actually given any direction with the cake. It was just pirate themed and make it, like I said, is it like a grungy pirate, like Pirates of the Caribbean style. So I gave one of the skulls a brown hat with a red bandana, and I know you can't really go wrong. It's very pirate-esque, but what I didn't realise when I got there, it matched exactly to the groom's hat and bandana. They were exactly the same shade and colour and shape and everything. So yeah, really chuffed how that turned out. And then I also completed the 2-tier birthday cake. This is how it ended up. I absolutely loved the effect. I wasn't 100% sure when I stacked it and started putting some of the flowers on. I thought, oh, it's not really looking how I want it. But then as I started adding more, adding the pops of orange and stuff, that's when I could see it come alive. I was like, right, this is it now. This is what I wanted it to look like. Nice and bright and arty and full of flowers. So we also delivered that one on the Saturday. That just went to a private address. She was having a little party at home, and I obviously delivered it before the party was kind of in full swing, so I don't know what she thought of it just yet. And then I spent the rest of the weekend doing stuff that I couldn't film because I'm trying to get organised for Christmas. I do like to start my Christmas stuff early, spread it all out, because one, it helps spread the cost, but also it spreads the stress. It spreads the Christmas stress, and you can probably tell I'm getting a little bit stressed because I'm full of spots. I always get like this. I've got them all over my chin and all underneath my chin. It's just getting to that time of year where things start ramping up. So I am actually going to be here, there and everywhere from now until December. And what I mean by that is I have wedding fairs. I am at a wedding fair this weekend coming, so I need to make some dummies for that. And then for the first time ever, I've booked in markets. I've only ever done one market, a local one, which didn't actually do all that well. So I'm panicking a little bit because I've booked lots of different markets in to try them all out and just see how I get on, because there just aren't that many weddings. There's not as many weddings at the end and the beginning of the year than there are in the middle during wedding season. So I thought, shall I do some markets and see if we can get some money for Christmas? Selling my chocolate bars. So yeah, I'm here, there and everywhere. I'm kind of in Leeds on a random farm in a barn. I am in Birmingham at a magical market, which is like a Disney-esque themed one. I can't wait to do that one. I'm so looking forward to that. I'm probably going to spend more than I earn at that market. And it's right in between Cake International. So I'm also at Cake International doing the judging on Friday, the market in the middle on the Saturday, and then back to Cake International on the Sunday. And then I have another market in Manchester, in Victoria Baths, as well as more cake orders and Christmas. So you're gonna have to bear with. This might be the point where the vlogs and the tutorials might start to get a little sporadic. I have been doing really well and been uploading once a week. So I've had a vlog one week, a tutorial the next week, a vlog one week, a tutorial the next week. And I've been sticking to that for quite a while, but this is where the wheels are going to come off. This is where I'm not going to be able to catch up. So please do bear with me. But I'm not sure how long this vlog is yet. I do try to keep them between 20 to 30 minutes, and I know they've been creeping a little bit longer and longer because I keep chatting longer and longer, but I have something to show you. So these arrived the other day. I had these made. When you buy something from my online shop, any key rings, pins, prints, chocolate bars, things like that, I have little thank you slips I send with my parcels, and I write you a little note on the back. And I am running very low. I have very low amount of them, and I thought I'm going to redesign and get some new ones made instead of just reordering the same old boring design. So I drew an egg. Sounds really random, but as bakers we use a lot of eggs anyway, so I was kind of playing on two different things. There's a saying of "you're a good egg," and Adam uses it quite a bit. I made him a brew the other day, took it where he was having a bath, and I took him a brew, and he said, "Oh, you're a good egg." He does say it quite often when I do something out of the blue. And also we use lots of eggs as bakers, so I decided to draw an egg. So these are my new slips that I put in. If you buy something from my online shop, you will be receiving one of these, and then obviously it's got like the thank you message on the back and my socials. And I'm trying to encourage more people to basically share what they've bought on social media, because usually you just receive your package, you go, "Oh, my package is here, take all your things out," and then forget about it. So I'm kind of encouraging people to take pictures of what they've got and tag me, so I can then share them and show everybody what you've chosen from my shop. So I've put all the socials on the back there for like Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and stuff, and left a little space to give you a little message. So yeah, I was just really chuffed how they turned out. I just love the little egg. It's just a little egg. I did give him little hands. He does have feet as well, and I put him in the centre of the card with his little feet, but then I decided I quite liked him popping up from the bottom. So you can't see his legs, but they are there. And Cherry Mail has also arrived, so I ordered lots of stuff for Cherry Mail. These are for the Brigadiers to buy. If you're a Cherry Plus member, you get access to be able to pre-order a Cherry Mail if you want one. So it's just a case of, "Oh, I've not got much money this month, I want to leave it," that's fine. Or there'll be another month where you go, "I'm going to treat myself. I like the sound of the theme of this box. I'm going to treat myself." And the contents are a complete surprise. So this month's theme was spooky for Halloween. So they're going to get sent out in the next couple of days, and it's all arrived. And I was going to show you in this vlog, but I fear it's got very, very, very long now. So I might save that for another vlog. So if you want to see what the Cherry Mail was, come back and watch whenever the next one's going to go up. I hope you're going to bear with me over these next few months as I go up and down the country with my chocolate bars. I am scared to death. I don't know if I'm actually going to sell them, because they were really, really, really popular during COVID times. Lockdown, we were all stuck in, we were all shopping online, and they were really, really popular. I made 400 bars one Christmas, which was amazing, and they sold well at Halloween, they sold well at Christmases, and then I've had to skip like Christmases where we went to Disney World and stuff, which was just last year. So now that I'm bringing them back for this year, and I've had to put the prices up a little bit just because the sheer amount chocolate has gone up, and everything else, packaging, postage, chocolate, sweets, toppings, absolutely everything has gone up. And there's just no way I could not put my prices up to kind of buffer some of that. Otherwise I'd be making them for nothing. It would be pointless making them. So I've had to put the prices up a little bit, and obviously we're out of COVID now. There's lots of different options in the shops for people to buy. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit scared to go to these markets with them, because it is a chocolate item, it's an edible item, so it's not something I can just bring back and keep in the studio for another year hoping to sell them the next year, because they're not going to be any good. So it's that having that fine balance of making enough for demand but also not making too much when nobody wants them, which is what happened at the last fair. The last market that I did, the last and only market I did. Yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already to check out, because I will be filming all that, and I will let you know whether they went well or whether they didn't, and whether things are worth doing or not. So feel free to stick around for that. Click the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.